scheduled to start in the dollar sign. This is a radical looking car with the fuel tank on the left-hand side for left side weight. This car put together by Nate Boutwell and the Boutwell family. Driven tonight by Wayne Hellowell. Wayne Hellowell, of course, no stranger to Star Speedway. And even though the helmet says Nate Boutwell, that's Wayne Hellowell in the car. That's the dollar sign, just rounding turn number 2 now. Rounding out this heat will be the 7X of John Farrell, and in his rookie season, driving his father's car, the number 16 for Matt O'Brien. Very strong middle of the pack here. Bumpus, Smith, Coy, Fonoro, Bobby Seymour in the 4. Maury Dumas looks him over. Fast start coming out of turn 4. 3 abreast already down the main stretch. Into turn 1, dead heat between Kennedy and Marcy. Lots of shuffling in the back of the pack. A little 3-wide action as we go into turn 4. Out front, Kennedy, Cabral in second. Marcy slips into third. Bumpus makes an attempt, gets it on the outside. Kennedy, Cabral, Bumpus looks to take second place now from Cabral. And a spin. Bill Marcy spins in turn 3. And it looks like we got some oil down over there. We got Ronnie Smith off. Wayne Hellowell doing a good job getting out in the dirt, but keeping it away from the wall. Howard Bumpus still looking for win number 1 of 1990. Of course, you've seen him win here at Star before, won the opening event last year. Maury Dumas crosses him over, and we'll be going green next time by. Kennedy and Cabral. Bumpus and Bobby Seymour in that second row. Drew Fonoro already up to 5th. Cars accelerate out of turn 4. Maury looks him over. We go green. Cabral getting a jump on the outside, takes the lead. Look at Bobby Seymour, shot out of a cannon on the outside, takes the lead going down the backstretch. Bobby Seymour in front. Glenn Cabral, Howard Bumpus round out your top 3. Look at the battle between Coy and Drew Fonoro and Lee Smith coming up too. Coy edges on the inside of Bumpus, no dice in the meantime. Bobby Seymour leads by a country mile. Coy again on the inside of Bumpus. Bumpus goes high. Joey Coy in the Nelson's International Trucks 94 tries to make it 3 abreast with Cabral. Look at the battle for second. Coy gets the inside of Cabral and takes the spot. Bumpus and Smith make it 3 abreast. Drew Fonoro sticks his wheel in there too. And Glenn Cabral and Drew Fonoro have tangled one wheel off. That's Cabral and Fonoro off into the weeds. And that accident really started in turn number 4. Howard Bumpus getting by Cabral. Fonoro and Lee Smith making it 3 wide down the front stretch, and there was just no room. Fonoro tried the inside of Cabral. Wasn't enough room. Cabral's car seems to have suffered some heavy front end damage. One of those cars lost the wheel. I believe it was Cabral. And we'll see if we can get Drew Fonoro going again. Okay, Maury Dumas crosses him over. Bobby Seymour out front, Joey Coy, Howard Bumpus, Lee Smith. Watch those top 4, ladies and gentlemen. We got 6 laps to go. Maury Dumas goes green. Bobby Seymour gets the jump coming out of turn number 4. It's Seymour, Coy, Lee Smith now goes around Bumpus for 3rd. Cars going single file as we go halfway to go. Seymour, Coy, Smith, and Bumpus round out your top 4. Bobby Seymour, who just this week practiced down at Charlotte Speedway in Kenny Schrader's sportsman car and will be taking part in the sportsman event this Wednesday at Charlotte International. Maury Dumas shows 3 to go for Bobby Seymour. Seymour, Coy, Smith, and Bumpus. Doug Cleveland rounds out your top 5 as the field strings out as we head toward the checkerboards. 2 to go this time by. 2 to go. Seymour now beginning to get into lap traffic. Will shortly be going by the car of John Farrell, the 7X. Coy catching up a bit, but I don't think there's enough time. 1 to go this time by. Seymour approaching the 16 and the 99. They pull down low, give Bobby plenty of room, and taking the checkerboards will be Bobby Seymour, Joey Coy in second, Lee Smith in third, Howard Bumpus in fourth, and Doug Cleveland will round out your top 5. Rick Hart and Mike Legel lead him down. Harry Johnson, Babe Shaw, Brian Caruso, and Paul Storr. Maury Dumas looks him over, waves the green, and here we go racing. Ricky Hart leads him out of turn 2. Hart, Legel, Shaw going for third. 3 abreast action. Back in the pack, Paul Storr slips into 4th. Storr has a look on the inside. Everyone goes wide, and Storr moves from 4th to 1st in 1 lap. Storr aboard the Jim Miller Volkswagen goes out front trying to pull a repeat, or almost a repeat of his last time out here. Big battle for second between Rick Hart, Babe Shaw in the 107. Now watch Jeff Horn coming up on the outside. Second place is the battle while Storr leads by a mile. And Storr falls off the pace. Everyone avoids him. Paul Storr just came to a stop right here on the main stretch. Everyone got by. The yellow comes out. And what a shame. Paul Storr had this race won. Something failed. Car came to an abrupt halt on the main stretch, and the field got by him. Maury Dumas gets set to turn him loose and waves the green. We're going to go racing. Hart out front again. Hart, Shaw. Shaw on the outside. Hart over the speed bump. Shaw grabs the lead. Babe Shaw, Rick Hart. And a lot of traffic in turn 4. Shaw out front. Mike Seymour now in second. Russ Storr takes a look at third, gets it. Jeff Horn goes on through in 4th. Halfway to go this time by. Shaw, Mike Seymour, Russ Storr in 3rd. The cars file by with halfway to go. Shaw looking for his first win of the 1990 season. Still out front. Shaw goes wide. Mike Seymour has a look on the inside. Takes the spot. Mike Seymour following in his brother Bobby's footsteps. Shaw getting very loose on the backstretch. Russ Storr going wide, has a look at second in that Cosworth-powered machine. Out front, Bobby Seymour, Shaw, Storr, Russ Storr, the Cosworth, another look at second place. The 107 and the 26 battle it out for second. And Storr takes over the spot with 2 to go. Dirt tracking it out of turn 4. Bobby Seymour, Russ Storr. The 107 of Babe Shaw. Battle on the Speedway is for third. The 107, the 47, and the 25. Halfway, no, I'm sorry, 1 lap. 1 lap to go. And the 25 takes over a spot, or tries to, from the 47, but out front, it's all Bobby Seymour. It's gonna be a Seymour Brothers heat event here, as Bobby Seymour takes the second heat event. Russ Storr in second. Shaw takes third. Horn 4th. Brian Caruso in 5th. Russ Storr keeps up the points battle. Both of the contestants in the top points positions, Russ Storr and Joey Coy respectively, finished second in their heat races, so that does very little to change the points structure as we go into the feature.
Jim Hanks calls him out of the corner and drops the green flag. And Rickard leads him into turn number 1. Martel second, Horn in third. Jamie Moore is in the 4th position, and Joe Moriarty 5th. Rickard leads lap number 1. Horn looking low on Martel as they jet down the back straightaway. Rickard coming to the line, completing lap number 2. Here's Horn moving to the inside of Martel in the 14. And Jeff Horn moves in the 2nd spot. Gove is 6th, Roundy in 7th spot, as Larry Rickard, who won here a couple of weeks ago, continues to set the pace. Record blistered the Speedway 2 weeks ago tonight in the 1990 finale for the Super Modifieds. Jeff Horn trying to close the gap between he and Record as we've reached the halfway mark. Race for third, Jamie Moore and Scott Martell, third and fourth. Moriarty still holding solidly on to the fifth position as Horn jumps through the corners and comes to about a 2-car length advantage, cuts the advantage down to 2 car lengths, closing in on Larry Record. Horn to the high side in turn number 4. Record got through the first and second turn in better shape that time than Horn did, coming to the stripe with 2 laps to go. You will note Jamie Moore lifting that left front wheel right off the ground as he exits turn number 4. Keep an eye on that left front wheel on the 88. That's exciting stuff. Here's the white flag. Ready to come around for the finish now. The checkers and the winner, Larry Record. Jeff Horn, Jamie Moore, Scotty Martell, Joe Moriarty rounding out the top 5. So Larry Record picking up where we left off 2 weeks ago tonight, nails down the first qualifying race for the Super Modifieds out of Belmont, New Hampshire. They go under green and they go wing to wing out of turn number 2. Lane goes high and jets into the lead as he works through 3 and 4, coming back to the stripe. It's Howie Lane. Dave Samard looking right at home in a car that carried Dick Batchelor to runner-up in the point standings in the number 77. Then Jim Lowry's third, Chris Purley and Dave Thomas. Race for 4th spot as Dave Thomas and the Jim Bell Fury number 98 goes outside of Chris Purley and zips by on the front straightaway, moves into the 4th position. Bobby Whitcomb follows in the same groove. He goes in the 5th in the 05 car. Up the front of the pack, it's Howie Lane leading up heat number 2 for the Supermod. Dave Samard running in 2nd, Jim Lowry 3rd. All righty, Jimmy Hanks crossing over the flags and we are halfway. Halfway in heat number 2 for the Super Modified. Race for 4th position. Dave Thomas and Bobby Whitcomb going at it. The number 98 and the 05 in turn number 4. That's your race right now on the Speedway is for the 4th position. The 98 and the 05 having at it as Lane completes lap number 8. There's your battle right there. Two laps to go. And the white flag for Howie Lane. Howie Lane really getting around here in fine style, taking the checker and the win. Samard 2nd, Lowry 3rd, 4th will go to Dave Thomas, and 5th spot to Bobby Whitcomb, then it's Chris Purley 6th. Timmons finishing in the 7th spot, and Dick Crotty rounding it out in the number 61, the Dick Dokas operation. Dick Crotty driving the car here tonight, but it's Howie Lane taking down the honors in the number 97. All right, starting on the pole, the number 15 out of Tournamine is Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe, and alongside Hudson Herb Simpson from Hudson, New Hampshire. Inside the next row, the number 59, Bob Healy from Stoughton, Massachusetts, in a 90 Pontiac. And on the outside, the number 9 is Joe Bessie from Scarborough, Maine. Inside the next row, Ken Bouchard in the number 72. And on the outside, Bobby Gaeta from Niantic, Connecticut, in the number 36. The next row is Mike Olson from North Haverhill, New Hampshire, in the number 61. And Dave Smith from Standish, Maine, in the number 34. Bobby Brunel is in the number 17 car as they are under green. And they come racing back to the line to complete lap number 1. And it's Mike Rowe on top. Herb Simpson second. Joe Bessie running in the third spot. Bobby Gaeta and Ken Bouchard the top 5. Nose to tail down the back chute. Mike Olson running in the 6th spot in the number 61. And Dave Smith is in the 7th spot. 59 car, a tough break at the drop of the green flag. Right out of the box, he had a problem there as they came under green down the front chute. Mike Rowe opens up about a 2, maybe 2.5 car length lead down the chute. Herbie Simpson solidly in second. Joe Bessie is third. Bobby Gaeta from the famous Gaeta Racing family down at the Waterford Speed Bowl, running in the 4th position, and we're halfway. Halfway here, Mike Rowe, former Oxford 250 winner, opening up a lead here. The battle going on for the number 2 spot. Herbie Simpson, bumper tag. Simpson and Bessie come together slightly in turn 4. Bessie got the nose underneath the number 3 car and got big Herb Simpson squirrely. Look at Bobby Gaeta come in there. Bobby Gaeta coming in there the race with Joe Bessie. Strong 2, 3, 4 car battle for the number 2 position here. Kenny Bouchard right in there behind Gaeta as Bessie's forced to work the outside. Gaeta trying to put that number 36 underneath in turn number 3. Coming back to the line with 2 laps to go with Mike Rowe. The battle for third. Bessie on the outside of Bobby Gaeta. Door-to-door, fender-to-fender through 1 and 2. Gaeta getting the nose ahead on the back chute, moving into the 3rd position. Coming around for the white flag. It's the leader, Mike Rowe. Got a little squirrely coming out, straightened it out, hanging on to the lead. Look at the push he's developed over there. He got into the number 1 turn rather hard, but he hung on. He's got himself a solid lead and a victory here in heat number 1. Mike Rowe leads him back to the line and scores the victory. Backs out of it to save it. Hudson Herb Simpson finishing in second. Bobby Gaeta third. Joe Bessie and Kenny Bouchard, the top 5 in heat number 1. Let us introduce to you the drivers in competition. For heat number 2, starting on the point, will be the number 41. Jamie Obey. Jamie Obey, the present point leader. And it looks like he all but has the 1990 championship all sewed up here. Out of North Ferrisburg, Vermont, in a 90 Buick, the number 41, Obey. Starting outside will be the number 5, Barney McRae, out of Colchester, Vermont. And there they are, the starters for heat number 2. They're on the hammer. The green is out. McRae goes right up alongside Jamie Obey as they work out of turn number 2. Side-by-side battle. 2 veterans having at it here. Jamie Obey. Whoa, we got some bumper tag. Courier and the 52 car coming together. Courier with the bumper hanging down on the front of the 04 as Ron Lamel moves into the 3rd spot. Bruce Haley off the pace of the back chute, headed for the pit area. Dave Bushley moves by Stub Patton and into the 5th position as the leaders come nose to tail out of turn number 4 and back to the line. Jamie Obey, Arnie McRae, Ron Lamel, Jay Currier, and Dave Bushley. Jimmy Hanks crossing the flags, indicating halfway, 5 down and 5 to go. Jamie Obey in the Lake Morian Resort number 41. Looking very, very comfortable here in heat number 2. Bonnie McRae attempting to reel him in, closing that real estate on Obey. Gets through the corners in good shape. But Obey able to outmotor him down the straightaways to hold comfortably onto that lead. Jay Currier solidly 4th, Dave Bushley 5th. 2 former Star Speedway regulars. Currier graduating from the street stocks, Bushley from the super modifieds. 2 to go. Ready now for the white flag. 1 more to go. Jamie Obey. And the checkers. Obey wins it. McRae 2nd, Lamel 3rd. 4th will go to Currier. Dave Bushley finishing in the number 5 spot in the number 38. And the rest of the field taking the checker. Stub Patton, Jeff Spraker, and Rick Miller. So the winner is Jamie Obey, the number 41 automobile out of North Ferrisburg, Vermont. Former Oxford 250 winner. And it looks like he certainly has this 1990 championship for the Busch Grand National North Tour sewn up for the 1990 season. He comes down in the number 61 tonight from Manchester, New Hampshire, the Flying Firefighter Dick Crotty in the number 61. That is your starting lineup for tonight's special 35-lap super modified feature. Only minutes from getting underway. 35 laps. At this time, we'd like to ask all crew members to please return to the pit area. All crew people, please return to the pit area. The field is set. We'll watch for the pace truck to drop off the back straightaway. 700 horsepower, fire-breathing super modifieds ready to let fly here. Saturday Night Thunder out of turn 4, the green. Larry Record, Jeff Horn, and Jim Lowry Jr. Lowry to 2nd, Horn 3rd, Howie Lane 4th, and Jamie Moore in 5th spot. Jeff Horn ran very well in his qualifying heat. Moved to the inside, exiting turn 2 there. A glimpse on the inside of Lowry. The field strings out. Jamie Moore is in the 5th position. 6th, Dave Samar. 7th is Dave Thomas. 8th is Moriarty. Martell running 9th, and Bobby Whitcomb in 10th spot. Larry Record, as he did 2 weeks ago tonight, enjoying a comfortable lead over Jim Lowry Jr. Jeff Horn in 3rd. Lowry coming right up behind Rickard to challenge him here for the lead as they move underneath the slower car of Bill Gove. Howie Lane in fourth spot. Fifth, Jamie Moore with Dave Samard behind him. Lowry staying a couple of car lengths behind through the turns. Lowry appears to be handling pretty well. You will see him slingshot through the turn. Done that all season long. Moves low as Rickard got a little high in the corner, moving by Dick Roddy. We got a car slowed out here on the front straightaway. Yellow flag, Bill Gove. Bill Gove with a damaged right front wheel on the Mark Burns number 17, bringing out the yellow here on lap number 11. Dave Thomas rejoins this 35-lap super field as he goes to the rear. Pace truck dropping off the back straightaway, and we are ready once again for the Saturday Night Thunder to resume. It does. The green is out. We got to restart. Jeff Horn moves underneath Lowry. Horn thundered underneath Lowry, moves into the second spot. Jeff Horn giving the number 6 Rockland Construction Super a heck of a ride here tonight. Joe Moriarty coming up to battle with Bobby Whitcomb for the 6th position. Jeff Horn found the horses on the restart, moved right underneath the 07 car into second spot. Lowry looks to be battling him for that number 2 spot here. Keep an eye on that number 2 position. The battle continues to go between Horn and Lowry. Howie Lane running in fourth. Joey Moriarty and Bobby Whitcomb coming up to pressure Jamie Moore for the 5th position. Here's Lowry outside in turn number 1, going wing to wing. Lowry and Horn side by side in the back chute. And Lowry powers by in turn number 3. Back to second goes Jim Lowry. Battle for 5th. Moriarty underneath Jamie Moore. And the kid from Rye, New Hampshire moves in the 5th spot. We're halfway. Larry Rickard at the stripe halfway. Larry Rickard having a total control in this one. Picking up where he left off a couple of weeks ago. Thundering down the front straightaway, and Brent Roundy is off the pace in the front chute in the number 2 car. Larry Rickard with pretty much clear sailing ahead of him after he goes by Dick Roddy, and he does. We got a car around in turn 4. It's Brent Roundy. Roundy around in turn number 4, pulling down the second caution flag in this feature event. All righty, here's the checker of the restart. Jimmy Lowry challenging Larry Rickard. The Supers bolt down the back chute here at Star. Battle for the lead here. Look at Bobby Whitcomb coming up to challenge Joey Moriarty. He moves into the 5th position. Whitcomb by the 51 into the 5th spot. Lowry coming high out of the corner, pulls it in behind the 11. Nose to tail down the front chute. Bobby Whitcomb and Joey Moriarty have got a tremendous battle going on. Through the back for the 5th position. Oh, trouble! Moriarty in trouble out here in the front straightaway. He and Wickham coming together. The 51 getting sideways and up on two wheels and slamming backwards into the wall and blocking the middle groove as he lands here in the middle groove, drawing the red flag. The initial indication, we're waiting down there. Boy, he slammed that upside down and backwards in the number 51 as he was battling it out with the 05 Bobby Wickham. The word is he is okay. Let's hear it for him. Joey Moriarty. That's one of the wildest rides we've seen in a super modified here in quite some time. Woo. He and Bobby Wickham were battling it out for a couple of laps for the 5th position, dicing back and forth. They came together in turn number 4, and Joey got sideways and backwards, and as he did, he was kind of like up in the air with the wheels pointed upward, the left side wheels. He slammed the wall hard backwards and caromed off it into the middle of the speedway, pulling down the red. Okay, started Jim Hanks showing the field, the white flag, and we're ready to restart this 35-lap Supermod feature with the speedway cleared now. Larry Record has led it, as you know, from the drop of the green flag. Jim Lowry Jr. coming up to contend for the lead on the outside. This is going to be a very important restart. The tires have cooled a bit. The green is out. Lowry outside, Jeff Horn inside in the 3rd spot. Howie Lane. Is Lowry high. Record driving that fine line on the bottom side through the corners, holding on to the lead, but the pressure continues. Lowry doing everything he can to pull that 07 landmark video super modified to the outside of Record. Record, plenty of horsepower down the straightaways. Record and Lowry sort of running away and hiding now. Howie Lane in 4th. Dave Thomas is up to 5th spot in the Belfiore 98. Question now is, can Lowry pull it up alongside? He's trying that slingshot move. Moving by Brett Roundy on the back straightaway. Got a clear speedway for a full straightaway here on the front chute. Lowry right in behind him. Again, trying to pull it up alongside. Again, Record able to hold him off. 5 laps to go. 5 to go for Larry Record. This time he came high on the front chute. Protected that outside. Lowry trying to set up on that additional width on the back chute. Again, trying to put him up alongside. Let's see. No. Record outmotors him down the chute. Here's Lowry one more time. No. Again, Record holds him off. Coming up on slower cars with 2 to go. 2 laps to go, and they're closing in on the rear of the field. Here's Lowry up top again in 2. Record holds him off. Ready to see the white flag now. Lowry looked low coming out. White flag out. Moving Dick Roddy up or down as they go by. Record pulls him down the back chute. Slower cars in front of them coming around for the checkers. It will be Larry Record. Jim Lowry Jr. will go 2nd. 3rd will go to Horn. Howie Lane finishes in 4th. Whoa, over here we got Jamie Moore and Bobby Timmons spinning at the finish. All righty, Larry Record caps off a fine season here at Star Speedway. As he rolls, the Phil Smith Insurance sponsor Vic Miller owned number 11 in the victory lane here. And according to our statistics here from Pete Merrill, that is Larry's fifth win here at Star Speedway this year. Look for the big guy from Belmont to come from the inside of that super modified. Won here 2 weeks ago in fine style and held off the consistent efforts of Jim Lowry Jr. to do it, leading from the drop of the green to the checkers. There he is. How about a nice hand for our winner tonight? Fifth time this year, Larry Record. Long-time super modified veteran, getting the job done here again tonight for the fifth time here, being greeted down there by his wife Maureen and the rest of the Vic Miller crew.
What are you going to do next year, Larry? Are you going to come back with Vic, or?
I don't know. You know, this racing and the way Vic races, I mean, it's tough. It's tough on everyone, and I mean, Vic is a dedicated racer, and all the guys that work on it, and I'll tell you, to put this car up front, these guys work, and they work hard. And, you know, like, this is the best race car there is in New England, as far as I'm concerned. I've got the best car builder, I've got the best motor people, and R&R and Ricky, and, I mean, Hoosier, good, I mean, we've got it all, and I'll tell you, I don't know, I just, you know, we're just going to let the clock run, and then we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you, I can't say enough about these guys because I steer the wheel. But I'll tell you, that race car is just one hell of a piece of equipment.
It also takes a little bit of the driver, too. Don't give yourself a little bit of a credit for that, too.
Well, I figured that to win this race tonight, I've been sitting in these things for 21 years now, or 20 years, and I'll tell you, I had a kid on the outside of me, and it took all 20 years of my experience to keep him behind me. And I'll tell you, I could hear him all night long.
Yeah, he was there, and we noticed that as soon as the first time he appeared up on the outside of you, you started to putting a little bit more foot into the throttle.
Well, the car was getting real loose, and, you know, like I had to kind of ease down on the throttle a little bit, and then I'd come back, but I'll tell you, I thought he was there beside me for 34 laps.
Well, he was. Congratulations, Larry, on a very good year. We hope to see you back again next year. John, back up to you.
Come back next year.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Larry. Congratulations once again on win number 5. It's been a great 1990 season for Larry Record and crew. On the Speedway next is going to be a 50-lap midget feature.
Ready to go racing very shortly. 2 cars could not make the event tonight. Stan Beluziak in the number 19 had problems in practice, and you saw Paul Storr come to a sudden halt on the main stretch here in his heat race. Paul broke a lower shaft in the rear end, unfortunately, and he will be back for Thompson. On the flag stand, Maury Dumas, veteran flagman. This time around, Maury Dumas will throw the checkered flag, and we will turn the track over to the sight open wheel fans just love. The Winged Warriors go 4 abreast, and is there any greater sight on a short racetrack than 4 abreast winged open wheel men ready to do competition? I want it to start way over there in the pit grandstands. Let them know how much you appreciate them putting on this show for you. I want you to wave your hands and handkerchiefs and scream and yell and stomp your feet. There they go through turns 3 and 4, all along the front stretch. Wave your hands. They'll see you this time, but not in a couple of laps. I keep telling people we're going to start them that way. About 25 car owners just had a heart attack over in the pits. Okay, field settles back into double file. We'll go one more time around, and if the field is set, Maury Dumas will wave the green, and we will be racing. Marcy and Cleveland to Shaw and Bumpus. Brian Caruso getting his feet wet in a modified this season. Comes back for one of his few midget appearances. Outside, Lee Smith in the number 2. And watch midfield as we go with the 94, Joey Coy, Russ Storr in the 26, Jeff Horn, the 47, Bobby Seymour, the 4. Get ready, sports fans, and Maury Dumas says, well, maybe not. Throws the yellow. We're going to go one more time around, I guess. One more time. And nope, Mike Legel having some problems in the John Lane Chevy 2. Pulls off into the infield. What a disappointment from Mike and the John Lane crew. Everyone's getting a little too anxious out of turn 4. Field stringing out a bit. We'll have to get back into double file action while the John Lane car is pushed off. Again, a big disappointment for that crew. Just coming back from engine damage mid-season. Big engine damage. I mean, we're talking holes in the block and everything. Got the car back together. Paul Storr was in that ride at the beginning of the season, then jumped into the Jim Miller machine. Maury Dumas says, okay, we're going to try it one more time. 24 cars will take the green. Watch the back of the pack. The 45 of Fonoro, the 80 of Favuli. They're going to be on the move. And up front, it's Marcy and Cleveland, Shaw, Bumpus. Maury Dumas looks him over. We go green. 4 abreast already down the main stretch. Into turn 1. Marcy, Cleveland, big battle for 3rd. Shaw bumps Bumpus aside, moves into 3rd. Favuli and Fonoro, watch them. Look at Drew Fonoro dicing his way through the field on the main stretch. But up front, it's still Marcy, Cleveland, Lee Smith pulling into 3rd. Lee Smith tries to make it 3 abreast round turn 4. Very tight on the main stretch. Smith on the outside of Marcy takes over the lead. Look at Joey Coy coming up to steal 2nd. Caruso out of shape in turn 3. Out front, Lee Smith. Joey Coy now in 2nd. Big jumble of cars contesting 3rd. John Farrell pulls off on the backstretch. Out front still Smith. Coy, oh, Bumpus over a wheel. Cleveland gets tangled and spins. Drew Fonoro dirt tracking it around turn 4. Everyone managed to avoid that. That accident began when Howard Bumpus hooked a wheel with somebody. Doug Cleveland ran into the back of Bumpus and spun. Everyone managed to avoid it. And Drew Fonoro, rising through this field, went off into the dirt. And cars double up. Lee Smith, Joey Coy, Howard Bumpus. Maury goes green. Those 3 cars lead the field by. Oh, trouble in turn 4. Drew Fonoro getting out of shape. It is not Drew Fonoro's night. Another car involved there, I believe. We'll try to get a number for it as soon as we have a vantage point. Maury Dumas crosses him over. We're going to go green, hopefully, for a little longer than 3 laps. Smith and Coy, Marcy and Bumpus lead him down. Smith on the hammer out of turn 4. Harry Johnson wide on the main stretch. Makes it through okay. Smith, Coy, Horn on the outside into 3rd. Out front still Smith, Coy, Horn, Bumpus. Now the 26 of Russ Storr up to 5th. Winding down another lap here. Race to watch. Look at the battle midfield between the 17, the 25, and the 4 of Bobby Seymour. Harry Johnson moves out of the way as the leaders come tearing through. Harry Johnson bending his left front wheel, moves off into the infield. There's the pass for the lead. Coy to the inside, Smith to the outside. Joey Coy takes over the lead. So it's Coy, Smith, and Horn on lap number 6. And big battle out for 5th. 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Coy, Smith, Horn. Now Mike Seymour in the 8, and Russ Storr round out your top 5. Field now beginning to string out a little bit as Joey Coy will try to run the remainder of this race in front. Jeff Horn creeping up on the number 2 of Lee Smith. Big battle for second. Mike Seymour and Russ Storr round out your top 5. Matt O'Brien over the speed bumps in turn 4. Howard Bumpus and Bobby Seymour dicing it up also in turn 1. But out front still, Joey Coy, battle of watches for second between Lee Smith in the number 2 and Jeff Horn in the 47. Smith, Horn, Mike Seymour, and Russ Storr are all coming together as those top 5 cars continue to run down the laps tonight. Meanwhile, out front, Joey Coy putting traffic in between himself and Lee Smith. Smith still holds down second, Horn in third. Mike Seymour and Russ Storr round out your top 5. Look at Bobby Seymour working his way into the top 6. Mike Favuli is already into the top 10. And Drew Finoro is on his way up through as well. Favuli passing Brian Caruso to pick up another spot. I believe that's 7th. Out front still, Coy. Horn and Smith go at it as they go into lap traffic. Coy still out front. Jeff Horn, Lee Smith dice it up for second. Russ Storr watches carefully in 4th. Mike Seymour 5th. Bobby Seymour pulls up to 6th. Mike Favuli in 7th. Favuli trying to get around the lapped car of the number 85 of Chris Kennedy, but out front, some 3 abreast traffic action as Joey Coy threads the needle in 1 and 2. Lee Smith still holding on to second. Jeff Horn is in third. Leaders now in heavy traffic, making it 3 abreast on the main stretch. Horn caught up behind Doug Cleveland. This allows Lee Smith a little bit of a breather. Russ Storr is a look on the inside at Jeff Horn to try to take over third. Horn says no way. Goes on the outside to take third. I should say to hold third. This allowed Mike and Bobby Seymour to move up on Russ Storr. Still out front, Joey Coy running away so far. Lee Smith still holding down second. Horn in third. Russ Storr 4th. The Seymour brothers round out your top 6. Out front, Joey Coy, Lee Smith. Let's see if Jeff Horn can make some ground up on Lee Smith. Seymour brothers threading their way now through lapped traffic. But still out front, Joey Coy, Lee Smith, Horn, Seymour, and the Seymour brothers, Mike and Bobby, respectively. Joey Coy now coming into some more lapped traffic, and Coy slows. Coy drops out of the lead. Unbelievable turn of events here. Just before the halfway point, lap 21, Coy drops out of the lead. This puts Lee Smith back in front. Smith, Horn, Storr now round out your top 3. The Seymour brothers, Mike and Bobby, are in the top 5. And what a heartbreaker for Joey Coy and the Kibbe organization. Still out front now, Smith, Horn, and Storr. These 3 men got a new lease on life with this race, with the sudden and abrupt departure of Joey Coy. Lee Smith finds himself back in the lead as we are approaching the halfway point, halfway next time by. Lee Smith takes the halfway point, Horn in second. Big battle for third. Russ Storr, Mike Seymour, Bobby Seymour. That is the battle to watch on the Speedway for third place. Those are your top 5 cars. Everyone else is distant. As the field strings itself out nicely now. Lee Smith, who was doing his best to both hold off Jeff Horn and try to catch Joey Coy, becomes the surprise leader once again in this race. And Smith now encountering heavy traffic. Mike Favuli gets bitten by the bad luck as well tonight. Holding down 6th position, Mike Favuli pulls into the infield on lap number 29. Up front, still Smith, Horn, Storr, Bobby Seymour now taking over 4th, Mike Seymour in 5th. Out front still, Lee Smith, Jeff Horn. A battle of the bullring drivers here at Star Speedway. And somewhere along the line, we seem to have lost Drew Finoro as well. Jeff Horn trying to pull up on Lee Smith in traffic now. Still, Smith, Horn. Watch the battle for third between Russ Storr. Bobby Seymour goes around Storr to take over third place. Dirt tracking it out of turn 4. So Bobby Seymour moves into the top 3. And remember, the late charge that Bobby Seymour put on in the later stages of this race last year. But out front, it's still Lee Smith, Jeff Horn, Bobby Seymour now, along with Russ Storr and Mike Seymour in heavy traffic. Seymour goes 3 wide, coming out of turn 2. Bobby Seymour pulling now into third. Howard Bumpus in the 66 doing a little dirt tracking out of turn 2. And Lee Smith just coasting along and has managed to put some distance between himself and Jeff Horn. Bobby Seymour trying to catch the leaders. Russ Storr and Mike Seymour now in traffic, rounding out your top 5 still. A little bit of a push on Lee Smith's part that time, coming around turn 4. We'll see if that develops into anything. But Smith going for his 2nd win of the year. Will he be able to hold it off with about 15 laps to go? Still, Smith, Horn now gaining a little bit of time. Bobby Seymour doing his best to catch the leaders, sitting in third place. Russ Storr now goes around Mike Seymour to take over 4th spot. And Horn seems to be catching Lee Smith, as I believe Smith has developed a bit of a push in that machine. Horn reeling him in, and right behind Horn is Bobby Seymour. This race is not over yet by a long shot as we reach the 10 to go sign from Maury Dumas. 10 to go, says Maury. This time by Smith, Horn, Seymour are your top 3. Lee Smith, Jeff Horn, Bobby Seymour as the laps wind down here at the Wendell Kelly Memorial. Top 3 cars now closing up on one another, and we might have a battle to the finish. Still Smith, Horn, Bobby Seymour, Russ Storr and Mike Seymour are well out of the battle, but contesting their own spots in 4th and 5th. And Horn definitely is reeling in Lee Smith as the laps wind down here. 7 laps to go. Lee Smith, Jeff Horn, Bobby Seymour, your top 3. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Seymour closes up a bit on Jeff Horn. Horn in turn, closing on Lee Smith. Horn right up on Lee Smith right now. Of course, Horn was in Smith's position last year with a handful of laps to go. He lost this race. Smith trying to hold off Jeff Horn. Horn, the rim rider, likes to run on the outside, has a glance on the inside in traffic. No dice this time by. 5 to go. 5 to go this time by. Smith, Horn, Bobby Seymour pulls up to have a look at Horn. No dice, says Horn, as the leaders thread traffic. Horn and Seymour to the outside of Ricky Hart in the 62. Lee Smith now putting, again, a little bit of distance between himself and the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Tires are going to play in now, as tires must be going away at the end of 50 laps. Maury says 2 to go. 2 to go this time by Smith, Horn, and Bobby Seymour. And all Lee Smith has to do is hold off for one more lap. Look at the lap's traffic, though, ahead of him. Is he going to come face-to-face with it in this, the white flag lap? Lee Smith, Jeff Horn, Bobby Seymour. It comes down to this, the last lap of the Wendell Kelly Memorial. Leaders approaching traffic. Smith wide, Horn tries. Lee Smith takes the checkerboards with Horn 2nd. Bobby Seymour in 3rd. The battle for 4th is going to go to Russ Storr. And Mike Seymour pulls down 5th. And cars a little sideways. Matt O'Brien getting sideways as the race comes to a close. Lee Smith taking the 2nd East Coast Classic. The Wendell Kelly Memorial. Jeff Horn putting on another stellar performance in the East Coast Classic as he comes in for 2nd place. Bobby Seymour, heat winner tonight. threads traffic and winds up third. Russ Storr and Mike Seymour battle race long for fourth, with Storr taking the position and Mike Seymour taking fifth.
Well, the victorious driver is down there in victory lane. How about a nice hand from Framingham, Massachusetts? Win number 2 for Lee Smith. Lee Smith winning it. Jeff Horn, a solid runner-up position. How about a nice hand for Jeff, finishing in the 47 car in second spot. Third going to Bobby Seymour. Fourth to Russ Storr. And fifth spot to Bob's brother, Mike Seymour. Rounding out the top 5 in the Wayne Kelly Memorial 50-lap East Coast Classic.
John, thank you very much. I'm going to stand here with the winner of the first annual Wendell Kelly Memorial, Lee Smith. Lee, was it a surprise to you when you saw the 94 slow and you were able to resume the lead that you fought so hard for in the beginning of the race?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to get him. He was going real good. He was going real smooth. I wasn't hooked up quite as well as I would like to have been, but that was Joey's race. Joey was going good. It's too bad. He was going real good. But them things happen, you know.
Lee, describe the differences between the 25-lap race that you won earlier at Riverside. This one was twice as long. What kind of strategy came into play here?
The last 10 laps, it was just hang on. I was tired. I was really tired. The 4-week layoff without anything in between, it makes you tired.
What about the car's performance, Lee? I thought it was developing a little bit of a push in those last 10 laps, was it?
I had a push right from the beginning, and the throttle was hitching up a little bit. So coming off, I had to be careful because it was like running a third throttle. I couldn't baby it, and it was pushing a little bit, but it was going good enough. I was trying to save a little bit of a reserve for the end there, but it was going, I guess, just good enough. It wasn't perfect, but it's a good little race car, and it's been better this year than it has been in the last 2, and I'm happy the way it's running.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the second annual East Coast Classic and the Wendell Kelly Memorial here at Star Speedway, Lee Smith.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. In the Jordan Lumber, number 47 from Scarborough, Maine, Kelly Moore. Starting in the 4th position. In the NE Racing, number 01 from Randolph, Massachusetts, Joey Carafas. Starting in the 3rd position, a former winner here at Star Speedway, and one of our own, the All-Pro Auto Parts, number 35 from Haverhill, Massachusetts, Mike Wheaton. Starting in the number 2 position. In the Skull, number 7 from Farmington, Maine, Billy Clark. And starting on the pole, in the number 25, the Speedy Oil racer from Concord, New Hampshire, Ricky Craven. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engine. Well, it appears from here all motors have fired as the field behind the pace car. The New Hampshire International Speedway pace car. And also the NASCAR Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. Falling in the field, falling into position. As the field, the remaining part of it, fires up and moves away from the starting grid here, as we're only a few minutes away. Now, I understand from scoring here, Ed Cox in the tower, after the cars do fire and get into their proper starting positions, they will go green within 4 laps. Let's give them an official Star Speedway send-off here before the green comes down on the Bud 150. All righty, the finest late model Grand National drivers in all of the United States, right here in the northern part of the country. And they are ready to do battle here as they once again fall into position behind the Grand Prix, Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. Your chief starter is Jim Hanks, assisted by Jim Beebe. They'll be working the flag stand for the running of the Bud 150 here. NASCAR official Ed Cox working with the NASCAR scorers here in the tower, keeping a close watch on everything that is going on from high above the speedway. Mike Wheaton starting in the third spot, as we mentioned, a former winner. Joey Carafas in the 0-1, long-time standout in Grand National competition. Kelly Moore has been in victory lane this year. Don't count out the Irish Angel, the 0 car, nor the number 15, Mike Rowe. Once again, the pace car drops off the speedway, and we are expecting to see green as the field comes down to back chute now. Looking for the green to officially drop the green flag on the Bud 150. Ricky Craven and Billy Clark in the Skoal number 7, ready to bring this field down as Jim Hanks calls them out of the corner. The Bud 150 is underway. Off of turn number 2, it's Ricky Craven with Mike Wheaton behind him. Billy Clark, Kelly Moore, Mike Rowe, and Joey Carafas. Leader of lap number 1 is Craven. Mike Wheaton looking low coming out of turn number 2. Looked for the moment like he wanted to put that nose of that bottle gas number 35 underneath the race leader. He settles for the number 2 spot. Clark, Kelly Moore, and the number 15, Mike Rowe. Then Hudson, Herb Simpson, Jamie Obey, Joey Carafas, Dick McCabe, Ron Lamell, and Barney McRae, Bobby Gaeta, Joe Bessie, Ken Bouchard, Jay Cormier. Nose to tail down the back chute. Freight train style in the turn number 3. Further back, Joe Bessie and Bobby Gaeta go to work side by side out of turn 4. We got a race for the 3rd position. Kelly Moore inside Billy Clark with Mike Rowe right in behind Moore. Side-by-side battle, wheel-to-wheel, fender-to-fender for the 3rd position out of turn number 2. Moore and Clark hooked in a good one. Rowe in behind Moore. Then it's Hudson Herb, Jamie Obey, and Dick McCabe. Kelly Moore shook free Billy Clark. Mike Rowe sees the bottom groove, is fast, although Clark hangs tough on the outside. Clark pulls right in front. Whoa! We got Kelly Moore around in turn number 2. Moore around in turn number 2 with the number 47. And the first yellow flag is going to fly here on lap number 8. We have Chris Romano, fine reporter with Area Auto Racing News in the Tara with us. Chris, how did you see that situation over in turn number 1? Did Clark and Moore come together?
That's what I saw, John. I think that accident started really in turn number 4 with Clark Moore and the 15 of Mike Rowe.
I think you're right. Clark was a little sideways coming out of turn number 4, and he looked like he was smoking the right rear as he exited turn number 4 until he was able to gather it in and continue on down the front straightaway. And we are ready to go back to green here. They'll be working lap number 13 when they come to the stripe. Jim Hanks watches Craven very, very closely. He'll be the pace setter as they come out of the turn. That green flag is out. The scramble is on through 1 and 2 as Billy Clark goes to the inside of Mike Wheaton. Billy Clark in the Skoal number 7 moves to the number 2 spot. Here comes Mike Rowe down the inside. Mike Rowe on the inside of the number 15 car. The O'Connor GMC automobile moving into 3rd. and Hudson Herb Simpson. The Hudson alignment number 3 car into the 4th position. Wow. Sparks flying between Mike Wheaton and Herb Simpson. Right in between with Jamie Obey. Obey and Hudson Herb Simpson. The hood up on the number 3 car, blocking the vision of Herb Simpson. It flies off in turn number 4. Debris on the speedway, and the yellow flag is out. The scramble was on exiting turn number 2, Chris. Hudson Herb Simpson, who will not give an inch, kept his leg in it. We had a 3 abreast situation out there, and he and Obey came together. The green is out. And Obey's back. Battle for the lead. Mike Rowe and Ricky Craven side by side on the back straightaway. They touch going into the corner. Out of turn number 4. Back to the stripe. It's going to be Rowe at the line. Mike Rowe, the leader, at the line. Look at Craven hanging tough on the inside. Rowe outmotors out of turn number 2 and enjoys now the lead, but here's Craven coming up the inside one more time. It's Mike Rowe leading lap number 27. They touch going into the turn. Craven on the bottom side. Mike Wheaton coming up to get into the thick of things in the 35. Billy Clark and Joey Carapaz. Here's Craven looking low one more time. And this time Rowe is able to fend him off going into the corner and himself keep that number of 15 down low through the turns. Now we got Mike Wheaton. Wheaton looking low on Craven. If Craven bobbles, Wheaton's going to shoot right down the inside. Rick Miller went into the pit area in the 06. Miller from Claremont, New Hampshire dropping out as your leaders complete lap number 30. Jay Courier in the 04 gone into the pit area. As the battle goes on with Rick Craven and Wheaton putting the pressure to race leader Mike Rowe. Billy Clark sideways. He's got handling problems in that number 7. Smoking a bit coming out of the corner. You can see him smoking going into the turn. They had some sheet metal rubbing on a tire on that right rear. The skull number 7 as he smokes going through the corners. Meanwhile, up the front of the pack, that battle continues to go on behind Mike Rowe, Rick Craven, and Mike Wheaton. Battling side by side here, putting the pressure to Mike Rowe as they complete lap number 33. Craven sticking pretty good on the outside, trying to pull it up alongside Mike Rowe. Mike Wheaton sitting in a pretty good position right here as he watches Mike Rowe and Ricky Craven work for the lead. Dick McCabe further back. Lamell and Bessie touch in turn number 4. Around goes Joe Bessie. In the Cola Motorsports, Penny Bouchard spins in the number 72. Bouchard spinning around in the 72. Lamell and Bessie touched over there in turn number 3. That's what triggered it.
John, this is full contact auto racing right here. You've got to expect this on a short track, John. A lot of pushing and shoving. We've seen it right up from Winston Cup down here at Busch.
Started Jim Hanks is on the speedway, and he's walking his way down the field, and I think he is headed toward the number 98 and the number 9. He wants the both of them. Bessie will have to go to the rear. He initially drew the caution flag. He'll have to go to the rear of the field. Billy Clark in the Skoal number 7. Black flagged by Jim Hanks. That car smoking. Bruce Haley has a smoking racer in the number 52. He's headed to the pits. Olson back in the number 61. He pitted. He's back onto the speedway and going to the rear. Mike Rowe is the leader. Craven led it early on. Heavy pressure from Whedon early on. Rowe thundered by and into the lead. Joey Carafas in 4th spot. Dick McCabe, the veteran, in the 5th position. The NASCAR Pontiac Grand Prix in the infield. The speedway clear. Watching started Jim Hanks and race leader Mike Rowe. That green is out. We've got to restart. The scramble on behind the first 2 place cars behind Whedon. Joey Carafas works the outside in turn number 3. The Randolph racer on the outside of Mike Whedon. Dick McCabe behind Whedon, Ron Lamell, Bobby Gaeta, Bob Healy, and Barney McRae. The battle goes on between Whedon and Carafas. Dick McCabe, very similar to what we saw early on with Rowe, Whedon, and Craven. 3 cars punched together, battling it out for position, trying to wrestle spots away from each other. As Whedon shook free Carafas, and now the race is for the 4th spot. The Irish Angel and Joey Carafas, the kid, battling on the outside. Ron Lamell really running strong in the number 98. Lamell coming up to battle with Joey Carafas for the 5th position. Craven and Rowe having at it going into turn number 2. Lamell finds the fast way underneath Joey Carafas. Carafas hanging tough though on the outside. Side-by-side battle for the 5th position. Bobby Gaeta behind. And then it's Kelly Moore. Well, we got the Irish Angel. Dick McCabe spun in turn number 4. Yellow flag. Yellow flag for Dick McCabe. The Irish Angel running and jockeying for position. Chris, what happened?
John, you've got to wonder maybe if turn 4 isn't a little slicker than usual. I know they're putting Speedy Dry down there during that last caution period. McCabe's rear end just seemed to break away, but you notice the veteran that McCabe is. He just let that car slide well back away from any further contact.
They're ready. We'll keep an eye on Rowe and Jim Hanks. Ricky Craven. We'll keep an eye on Rowe himself. Here's the green flag. They're back under green. They scramble out of 2. Kelly Moore, trouble on the back straightaway. Barney McRae sideways and around. Yellow flag as they come to the line with Rowe leading it. And McRae looping on the back chute. Oh, the number 61, Mike Olson, also climbing the light support out there. The mound supporting the light structure in turn number 3. The Pontiac Grand Prix pace car drops off the speedway. When they come to the stripe, they will be working lap number 65. Rowe watches Hanks. Craven watches Rowe and Hanks. Here they come. The green is out. They're on the hammer. We've got to restart. Craven and Rowe almost came together out here on the front straightaway at the start-finish line as Ron Lamell. Lamell comes up to challenge Mike Whedon. Lamell right in behind Mike Wheaton and Bobby Gaeta. Jamie Obi coming strong on the outside in the 41. Jamie Obi on the move on the outside in the number 41. Challenging Kelly Moore. Ricky Craven going high out of turn 2. Look at Obi on the outside of Moore. They are wheel to wheel, fender to fender behind Bobby Gaeta. Jamie Obi fast out there in the 41, falls into position behind Bobby Gaeta. Once again, Craven pulls to the outside, exiting turn number 2, trying to pull the speedy number 25 alongside Mike Rowe. Rowe will have nothing of it. Here comes Wheaton down the inside in the 35. And Mike Wheaton once again battles Ricky Craven for the number 2 spot. Wheaton with the edge, forcing Craven to work hard into turn number 3. Side by side, coming back to the stripe, Rowe your leader. The number 2 spot, Wheaton on the inside at the line on lap number 71. But Craven works the outside very hard and does not want to be denied here. Side by side, fender to fender for the number 2 position. And Craven nudges ahead of the stripe. Ricky Craven back into the number 2 spot. We get action in turn number 4. Bessie, Haley, and Cormier. Yellow flag. Yellow flag out. Joe Bessie, Bruce Haley, and Jay Cormier coming together, exiting turn number 4 in front of Jeff Spraker. All righty, we've just been told that the number 41 car, Jamie Obi, is down 1 lap. Obi is down 1 lap. He was running strong on the outside, but he'll be interesting to watch when they go back to green, and they do. Jim Hanks plots it. They race out of 4. They scramble. Obi trying to unlap himself. In this case, on the inside of Ron Lamell, Bobby Gaeta. 2 laps. Okay, now they're telling us 2 laps. NASCAR scorers have just informed us on the announcing side of the tower that Jamie Obi is down 2 laps. Obi down 2. Mike Wheaton looks to the inside of Craven. Craven able to hold him off and beat him into the turn. 4th is Bobby Gaeta. Ron Lamell and Kelly Moore battling it out for the 5th position. Kelly Moore in the Jordan Prue Value number 47. Moving in behind Bobby Gaeta. He is in the 5th position. Moore 5th. Tough for Ron Lamell, who ran strong. Got into the top 5. And is now getting hung out to dry on the outside as everybody's moving by on the inside. Carafas and Healy move by on the inside, the 01 and the 59. Jamie Obi, the racer that he is racing out there despite the fact he's down 2. Well, Kelly Moore. Moore looked like he blew up the engine in turn number 1. And Kenny Bouchard, Joey Carafas, Bessie involved over there. And again, we are under yellow. Moisture all over the number 1 turn, and what a tough break for Kelly Moore, Chris Romano. The green is out. Again, that scramble on. Again, Jamie Obi is down 2 laps. But he moves underneath Ricky Craven. And for the moment takes some of the pressure, the race pressure, away from Mike Rowe. Ron Lamell and Bob Healy battling it out. They're side by side. Whedon and Craven go at it for the number 2 spot. Obie into the back of the leader. Obie got the nose into the back of Mike Rowe on the previous lap in the 4th corner. Mike Whedon and Ricky Craven putting on a tremendous show here as they continue to duke it out for the number 2 spot. Whoa, Healy in trouble, gathers it in. At the line, 98 laps gone, and the battle goes on behind Jamie Obie for second. Craven shakes free Whedon. Whedon hanging tough, but Craven's able to lose him a bit here and has sole possession of second spot. Whoops, some bumper tag. Obie and Rowe. You can see the chain reaction. Lamell hard on the hammer there as he goes to the inside of Bobby Gaeta. Lamell moving by on the inside, although Gaeta hangs tough. Gaeta hanging tough as they go wheel to wheel. In trouble over there is Gaeta. He and Lamell came together. Haley and Healy moved by, the 52 and the 59. Mike Rowe the leader. Ricky Craven second. Mike Whedon third. Jamie Obie continues to battle with Mike Rowe, trying to knock off one of those laps he's down. He's down to a total of 2. We believe Dick McCabe is running in the 4th position. Obie and Rowe, 2 real veterans going at it here, putting on a show as Obie tries to knock off one of those laps he's down. Whedon starting to slip back in that 3rd position. Ricky Craven right in there on the rear bumper. Craven trying to get it underneath Obie so he can get a shot at Rowe. And Craven moves by Jamie Obie. Now he's got a shot at Rowe. Craven coming right up on the race leader, Mike Rowe, through the corners. Whedon in 3rd spot. We believe that Dick McCabe is in the 4th position and Ron Lamell is 5th. The leaders coming up on 2 slower cars. Jim Hanks showing the passing flag to the 17 and Spraker the 69. Craven able to stay right with Rowe through the traffic. Dick McCabe moving to the inside of Bob Healy, and Zero moves by. Craven looked low going out of turn number 2. Here's Craven trying to make a decision. Thought better of it as Jamie Obie moved by on the inside. Obie boxed in behind Brunel in the 17, and Craven powers by outside, exiting 2. Stubby Batten slowing on the back straightaway. And the North Haverhill, New Hampshire veteran gone into the pit area. Batten out of it. They have a full straightaway to play with here on the rear of the next pack of slower cars. It's a pretty clear sailing here for a few laps as they come to the stripe, completing lap number 120. Craven, look at the power underneath. Ricky Craven on the inside of Mike Rowe. What a move by Craven. We've got a new race leader. Rowe looked low going into the corner. Can he pull it underneath the number 25? No. Craven outmotors him out of turn number 2. He was the early race leader, yielded the lead on lap number 26, and took over on lap number 121. Ricky Craven seems like he has found some extra horsepower as he's starting to pull Mike Rowe down the back straightaway. Rowe looks like he's got a push in the car as he went through the turns. Rowe starting to slow as Jamie Obie moves by without any problem. Ricky Craven led it for the first 26. Re-inherited the lead on lap number 121. 25 laps to make it 24. 24 more laps to go in the Bud 150 here tonight, as Ricky Craven seems to have it under control now. Chris Romano, that was a heck of a move as he powered underneath Mike Rowe, and it looks like maybe the tires are going away on Rowe's number 15.
Gutsy move by Ricky Craven. Had to play a long, long waiting game for most of this race, but it's paid off, John.
Dick McCabe coming up to put the pressure to Mike Whedon. We may have a move here for the third position. The Irish Angel, the Kennebunkport, Maine veteran, coming up right behind Mike Whedon. Jamie Obie, who is 2 laps down, continues to race with the leader, Ricky Craven. Mike Rowe second, Mike Whedon is third. Dick McCabe is in the 4th spot. Quite a battle going on out here in the front straightaway with Lamell, Karafis, McRae, Bouchard, and Gaeta. As Dick McCabe is right on the rear bumper of Mike Whedon, and Bob Healy is right on the rear bumper of Dick McCabe. Here's McCabe going to the outside of the green 0. The Irishman up high out of turn number 2. McCabe going outside Whedon in turn number 3. Dick McCabe on the high side. Whedon boxed in behind the number 52, Haley. Healy looking underneath Whedon as McCabe tries to power by Whedon on the back straightaway. The Irish Angel on the top side through 3 and 4 and moves into the third spot. Dick McCabe in the third. McCabe may get a shot at Mike Rowe before this one's over. 135 into the record books as Ricky Craven continues to lead the way. Jamie Obey did get by him, but he is down a lap. Obey is down 1 lap now. McCabe will have to get by Bruce Haley, the 52, to get a shot at Mike Rowe, the number 2 position. Laps to go. 10 laps to go, Chris. It's like a qualifying heat on a Saturday night now.
It all comes down to those final 10 laps, John. Will Ricky Craven be able to hold off everybody behind him? He has a good lead, but remember, he had this kind of lead in the beginning as well.
Mike Rowe quite a ways back here as Craven exits turn 4. Here comes Rowe out of turn 4, almost a full straightaway lead over Mike Rowe. Dick McCabe running in the 3rd position in the green 0. Mike Wheaton is 4th. McCabe and Haley. Some bumper tag in turn number 4. Here's McCabe moving underneath Haley. And now he's got some clear sight of Mike Rowe. Question is, can he catch him and power by here? 7 laps remain. 7 to go for Ricky Craven. As Mike Wheaton and Haley go side by side. Bobby Healy coming up. He's right into the back of Mike Wheaton out here in turn number 4. Five to go. 5 more laps for the number 25. Four to go at the stripe. McCabe closing on Rowe. That's your race right now for the number 2 position. Dick McCabe right up behind Mike Rowe. Rowe led it lap 26 through 121. Here's McCabe looking low down the back chute. McCabe trying to power underneath the O'Connor GMC number 15. Rowe, the KGO veteran, able to hold him off. There'll be 2 to go now. 2 laps to go for Ricky Craven. And that race for second spot continues. Rowe and McCabe. McCabe now trying to pull it to the outside. Rowe outmotors him out of 2. The white flag. 1 more lap to go in the Bud 150. Rowe right on the rear bumper. Or rather, McCabe on the rear bumper of Rowe. As they make their final pass down the start-finish line is McCabe. McCabe looking low once again. And again, Rowe shuts the door. Heading into turn number 3. Craven wins it. The race for second, it will go to Rowe. McCabe finishes in 3rd. And the checkers fall on the rest of the field as the scramble was on. With Haley, Healy, Wheaton, and Karafis. A tremendous race here tonight for the Bud 150. The guy who sat on the pole by the luck of the draw as the top 6 positions were drawn for trackside. Sat on the point, led it for the first 26 circuits, and then powered by Mike Rowe A mad scramble exiting turn number 2 as he dove to the inside of Rowe on lap number 121 to move back into the lead, a race he led for the first 26 circuits. Ricky getting ready to come from the inside of the car. And let's go down now to Tom Elliman, who's standing by. Tom?
Thanks a lot, John. We're down here in victory lane. Ricky Craven with his second victory of the season in his rookie year. Let's bring him over here. Get a few words about a tough race at Star Speedway here tonight in the Bud 150. Ricky, almost as tough a race, I think, as he had it at Thompson Speedway. The difference here was he was able to pull out a little bit of a lead before he got to that checkered flag. Ricky, come on over here. Congratulations.
Have a nice hand for Ricky Craven of Concord, New Hampshire, ladies and gentlemen. Driver of the Speedy Oil Change Pontiac. Whoa.
What a race tonight, Ricky.
Well, I got to tell you, you know, a lot of this racing is work, but at least for tonight, it was a great deal of fun. I haven't had as much fun in a long time, and I truly mean that. Michael and I put on quite a race, and Jamie was fighting to get his lap back. And for everybody associated, Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, and EJ Prescott, Allegiant Management, all these people are wonderful people, and I want to thank them for being part of our team. And the crew, you know, they're wonderful. My wife, KK, everybody, I really want to thank them. This is great to end the year.
Ricky, what did the trick for you? First of all, Mike got by you early on when you guys kind of seemed to fall asleep on the green flag. And then how did you get back by him?
Well, you know, that particular instance there, I was trying to outsmart myself, I guess. I figured, you know, Michael's been around a long time, and I was going to try a little trick, and man, I flat out messed up. But I was determined from that point, and Michael was a little quicker on the restarts. For 3 or 4 laps, his car was a little quicker, and I realized that. So what I had to do was just hold on and prevent my tires from getting hot. But, you know, 5 or 6 laps into the back into it, my car was a little tighter, and I knew I could get by him in the right opportunity.
Because he was starting to have problems. He was starting to get a little loose.
Yeah, and, you know, Michael finished second or third. Whatever he finished, it was contributed to his driving. I mean, his driving is what got him there. He was wrestling that car all the way around the track, and he deserves a lot of credit.
Now, you ran along the outside for a long time. Weren't you worried about using up your tires?
Well, you know, maybe that comes with being the young gun. I don't know, being young and aggressive, but...
or young and foolish?
Young and foolish, at least for that moment. I don't know. You know, I tried to make it work, and every time I got myself in a position, the caution came out, and I says, well, you're just going to have to smarten up, kid, and relax, and maybe it'll come to you. But I'm learning, you know. You follow guys like Mike Rowe and Jamie, and you're bound to learn, and sometimes you learn the hard way. For tonight, it was good.
Congratulations again, Ricky Craven, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a nice hand. Ricky, you got a lot of awards to receive here in Victory Lane, and while you're getting some of them, I'm going to call Mike Rowe over here to get his version of what was a pretty tough race here tonight. He had himself a show. He had himself a handful of a car, and he drove quite a race, starting in 6th position. Let's see if we can get the veteran from Turner, Maine over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome Mike Rowe. Mike, where are you? There he is. Cross right in front of those photographers. Mike, you had your hands full here tonight, not only with Ricky, but then with Dick McCabe at the end.
Yeah, you know, we was running real good, and the car loosened up on me a little bit, and, you know, we're real happy with what we got today. We're satisfied. Ricky done a great job, and I congratulate him.
Now, you usually can use a lot of racetrack when a guy like Ricky challenges you late in the race and kind of hold him off. What happened here?
Well, you know, like I said, I was a little bit loose anyway, and he got underneath me, and there's no sense of wreck us both. You know, I just want to settle for second.
Now, how about Dick McCabe? Was he giving you a little fit back there?
Oh, we're just having a little fun. You know, I see him trying to get on the inside of me, and I just had to back off and try to protect the inside.
Well, this is your best finish here at Star Speedway, Mike Rowe. Congratulations. You must feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, you know, we'll come back next time. Maybe we can do a little better.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Rowe. Congratulations, Mike, on his second place finish. And let's see if we can find the Irish Angel here in Victory Lane as Ricky Craven continues to collect the fruits of victory, including the Gatorade Circle of Champions plaque, in which he will be awarded an associate membership in, along with a $1,000 check from the folks at Gatorade, one of the major sponsors of the NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series. Congratulations, Dick. Boy, you had a tough time, a lot of tough traffic out there tonight.
Yeah,
by spinning out, didn't help myself any either.
Was that a car problem or a traffic problem?
Combination of me and the car. We weren't adjusted yet.
Boy, you caught it real nice, though. You didn't touch anything out there.
Well, I was lucky. I knew they were coming. I wanted to get straight so I could back up, you know, give them time to slow up.
Tell us about the last 3 or 4 laps when you were trying to get underneath Mike Rowe.
I knew it was going to be tough. I said, it's going to be nasty, I think, if I beat him the last 2 laps. And
You went down right over the speed bumps a couple times.
yeah, well, his car was a little wide, you know.
That's the wide body model. Now, did you just have to give up or did you just keep trying?
Oh, I kept trying, but they get wider the last 3 laps.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick McCabe, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. The 2nd best known resident of Kennebunkport, Maine.